Hello and welcome. My name is Daffy Roth, and this is the Voice of Cards Forsaken Maiden for the PC. In our last episode, we finished up the Onyx Maiden's story. A tale of death and birth. I want to say rebirth, but it's really not. So, interesting caveat, and I did do some research, and there are some people who think the Melanie is perhaps not the same Melanie, but maybe one down further down the line. So this would take place prior to the Isle Dragon Wars. So I do believe they're connected in some way. I do feel like this is a prequel. I mean, it's connected by a loose thread, but connected nonetheless. So, but yeah. I mean, with that being said, we got one more island to go, and that's the one to the north, and that's where we're headed in today's episode. And that, and hopefully I can afford to buy the weapons across the board. Alright, so in our last episode we did already there's still that shipwreck though, but I don't know what to...
A man stands in front of the shipwreck's treasure hold, searching for a stick of some kind that might serve as a replacement lever to open the door.
Alright, so I looked it up. It's a part of a whole trading thing. So the good news is we haven't missed it, but we're gonna have to come back here eventually anyways. And it's actually, it all starts with the Northern Isle anyways. We're gonna skip everything in the ocean and just go straight there. I mean, there's not really any sense in fighting this stuff, so we already went down to that side, so
After a long voyage, you happen upon the North Isle. On the North Isle, you will hear the tale of a maiden in white.
weigh anchor at the North Isle and begin the tale.
Very well then, prepare to go ashore. The North Isle is home to a range of majestic snow-capped peaks, the grandeur of which serves as a constant reminder to the residents of just how small they are.
Right, tale of the Ivroy Maiden.
Having grown accustomed to life on the ocean, Laty helps you prepare to moor the vessel. Lack, meanwhile, continues to laze about within the confines of Laty's hood. Looks like Lack won't be needing dinner tonight, you muse to yourself as you unfurl the map. From the wharf extends a well-maintained road, which no doubt leads to civilization.
Follow the road out of the north, explore the area. Well, we're never one to follow the road, now are we? Come across an open air stall. Every signs goods bought here? Sure. If you're in a stall, its proprietor calls out to you. This is exchange shop. We'll pay good money for whatever you have, but the price. But as soon as the price you continue to really die in her hand. Yeah, 30% premium. Oh, this is to sell. Oh, dude, I should have kept my gold. Oh. definitely need one of these. I can deal with. Poison stay, numb stay. Stay. I can't sell the relics. All right. I have anything to sell now. Fine. It seems she's finished buying for the day. The proprietor begins closing up shop and you go on your way.
This must be a stela of the Isle's guardian spirit.
Yeah, I mean, this town must be right over here. A well-to-do looking old man appears for you. It's the man who challenged you to a game of dice. Sure. So same as last time, if you can roll the designated pips or higher, you win the prize at no cost. If you roll lower, you'll have to buy the prize at more than its intended value. Today's prize is... Ow. I should have just backed out. You take your prize. I'm raking it in. Yeah, whatever. I didn't need it.
You are greeted by sublime white gates, the likes of which you've never seen. As you attempt to pass through them and enter the city, someone garbed entirely in white rushes out, as if running from something, and crashes into you. You cannot see their face for the white mask covering it, but the fact that they have a weapon in hand makes you think they're a city soldier. You extend a hand to the soldier, who tumbled to the ground after your collision. "Out of my way," the soldier shouts, their voice muffled by the mask, before charging at you. Apparently, they want to fight.
Well then. This is the worst. It just makes the battles drag. Oh, it's okay. Ugh. Why must they fight? Their mask obscures any hope you had read in their face.
You parry the soldier's sword, then watch as they flee to the west.
Alright, well, we're not heading in there yet anyway, so... Ah, it's this guy. Yeah, what we do. Sure, we'll see what he has, though. No, go away.
I'd better not. You apologize to the old man and take your leave. Ahead of you on the path, you spot a woman crouched on the ground. It looks as though she's twisted her ankle. She looks up at you and asks, "Don't suppose you could spare any salve?"
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have no salve.
Yeah, I do.
The woman rubs her pained leg and hangs her head, lamenting, "Oh, poor me."
I mean, I do. Fine. I was gonna be like, here, just take some of the... Let's enter the city, I guess. And go pick up some stab.
Crystal clear water runs through canals in the white-wreathed city. This place is far more beautiful than any village you've ever visited. Welcome to Alabaster City, the soldier at the gate greets, though his eyes don't even glance your way. You suppose he's busy monitoring the streets. As you look around, you see soldiers gathered in a ravaged corner of the city. You can't help but wonder what transpired there. Despite that, the other residents carry on with their daily lives as if nothing is amiss. The contrast strikes you as strange. Alabaster City seems intolerant of impurity. It makes you wonder if its history is as spotless as its appearance.
Obviously not, if we know anything about the Ivory Order. Gather information about the Maiden in Alabaster City.
Welcome to Alabaster City, the soldier bellows in unison with their colleague to the right of the city gates.
You have failed the necessary requirements to unlock Soldier in White's flip side story.
Welcome to Alabaster City, the soldier bellows in unison with their colleague to the left of the city gates. The soldier sternly surveys the people walking up and down the street, periodically pausing to write something down on a piece of paper.
You fulfill necessary requirements to unlock Knight in White's flip side story.
Do your part to keep Alabaster City clean. The soldier holds out a bag, hoping to collect the refuse of passers-by. What a thankless task protecting Alabaster City's image must be. If I shop here, I'll have to shop next door as well, the woman mutters to herself as she peruses the necklaces on display. It would only be fair, she says, trying on one of the necklaces. If anything bad happens, the maiden and the soldiers handle it, the boy says, though clearly bored with the peaceful city.
You fulfill necessary requirements and unlock Boy in White's flip side story.
This area is off limits, the soldier says, stopping you in your tracks. Among the townsfolk peacefully going about their day, you see two young women making quite the racket. It's all your fault, one woman shouts at the other, whose eyes run with tears. They appear to be fighting.
Can't we all just get along?
No fighting, Lack exclaims in a rare bout of righteousness.
Wow.
Get out of my sight, you weird puppet, the woman retorts. Lack is shocked. She may be right about Lack being strange, but you admittedly feel a bit bad for it. The self-assured woman is Lanka, the Ivory Maiden and keeper of the island's destiny. The woman being berated is Krim, the Ivory Maiden's attendant. The women explain that they were entrusted with killing the deserter who ravaged the town. Lanka claims that the deserter escaped because of her bungling attendant and noogies a fist against either side of Krim's head. Lanka gives your group a long, appraising look before whispering, "You'll do nicely. Consider this a great honor," she continues.
Great.
Then orders you to help her in the search for the deserter. You had wanted to ask her about her maiden's relic, but now it seems you have no choice but to obey her command.
Lamka and Krim have joined your party. Lack is no longer eligible for battle. Search for the deserter. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna do my gaming here, and I'll be back in a second. All right, then I'm back, and we have successfully unlocked the Game Parlor's receptionist flipside story. So we'll look at those before we go. Let's take a look at the item shop. Let me pick up a salve. So we've already picked up everything that we need. That be all? Yeah. You unlock the item shop's owner's flipside story. So we're going to unlock all the flipside stories now. Event.
Your group enters a frightfully disordered armorer. Half-finished bits of plate, pauldrons, and other protectives litter the interior of the establishment. The owner and resident blacksmith is mumbling to himself. Someday, I'll forge the strongest suit of armor in the land. You ask him about this, and he proclaims that he aims to make a name for himself as a smith by crafting the greatest armor in the land, which will in turn help his business to flourish. Unfortunately, he continues, the ores he needs to produce higher quality armor have proven difficult to procure, leaving him rather frustrated. The proprietor of the shop says to you, if you come across any rare ore, by all means, bring it to me. The purveyor of armor once more welcomes you to the shop and is ready to give your coin a loving new home. What can I do for you? The proprietor asks.
Knight's Order Sword. It's a good one. It's not all that strong though, but we'll need to get it. Knight's Chainmail. That few.
Will that be all? The proprietor asks.
That's it. You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock the blacksmith's flip side story. Oh look, we missed somebody here.
The city is safe, thanks to the maiden and the soldiers, the girl exclaims. She seems to have not a care in all the world.
You fulfilled the necessary requirements to unlock Girl in White's flip side story. We're gonna have a lot to read here in a second.
The innkeeper beckons you in with a warm smile. You inquire as to the price of a room, only to receive a soft, "Oh, that won't be necessary," in response. Befuddled, you ask why. I could tell from the moment I laid eyes on you poor pathetic lot that it simply wouldn't be right to ask you for money, she says blithely.
You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock the innkeeper's flip side story. Item accessory shop. Next. How may I help ya? Section, anything new? Hearsay, ring him. Hi. Wait, really? Oh, I must have missed her somewhere along the way. Dang it. Oh, because there's two of them. Oh, look at that. Oh, I think they all have the cartoons. It's a whole lot of idea. I'm gonna need so much money. That be all. You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock the accessory shop's flip side story. Alright, well, let's go through this, shall we? Characters. Olanka, the Ivory Maiden who resides in Alabaster City, a splendid woman. She keeps the peace of the city, but the people take this for granted, do not appreciate her for it. Well, she's a stuck-up little brat. Prim, a woman who works hard to fulfill her maid's orders, but fails often. She often thinks gloomily upon whether her punishment day will be a punch in the gut or bone-crushing noogie. Oh. Soldier in White, a woman who works as a gatekeeper. Hers is a steadfast vigil, and she remains stock still all while on duty. Some passersby even mistake her for a statue. Her true skill is the ability to sleep while standing. Fortuitously, her face is hidden by a mask, and who lays eyes upon her would ever suspect she's actually asleep on the job. Knight in White, he has yet to taste defeat. Several of his opponents flee from him before they ever cross swords. He also has yet to take off his armor. He eats in it, he bathes in it. He has no idea that he owes his seemingly invincibility to the rancid odor and White, this lad's adorable, carefree smile drives every adult around to dote upon him. Sweets, toys, pocket money, anything he wants, they provide. The boy spends part of each day practicing his hollow smile in front of the mirror. With but a flash of his pearly whites, the adults will give him anything. It's almost too easy. This girl is the very picture of a model pupil. Not a day goes by that she does not work to hone her skills with a sword, for she seeks to become a grand knight. Her tireless shredding serves one objective: vengeance upon the knight who slew her parents. Until the day their blades cross at last, she'll continue to play the part of a model pupil. Interesting. Alright, now we have all of these guys. The blacksmith with a tender smile, his gentle demeanor, and honest strength forged in his daily work has won the hearts of all around him. In truth, he really can't stand talking to people. He thought he wouldn't have to as a smithy, but without the funds to hire a clerk, he's forced to handle customers personally. Sounds like me. Long ago, he was an adventurer. No fiend was too fierce to challenge his oath. No fiend was too fierce to challenge. He opened the shop he runs today with the gear he collected back then. He quit adventuring after he settled down with a family. He's now known the island over for how his wife has him whipped. He has not a hint of adventure left inside or out. Jewels have it best, valued solely for their beauty, with no regard for their shape before they are cut. Don't you agree? How was I before I was? Oh, honey, please think before you pry, said the owner, flashing a bejeweled fist. Polite in earnest, that much can be seen from the smile she gives her guests. Her friendliness, though, is also said to be a mere formality. Her favorite pastime is peeping on her guests. Though a vulgar hobby, it may be, the only time she knows a true smile is when engaged in the act of voyeurism. The girl the boy loved was the sharpest card shark on the island. He gave his all, sharpening his own skill at cards just to have her glance his way. The boy became the sharpest card shark on the island. No longer the best, the girl lost all interest she ever had in cards and anything related to it. Alright, well, that covers all of that. We have so much money to get. And they keep throwing, like... So we need this one here still, but we have all the other ones. Oh, probably this one too. These, which means I'm gonna have to... No, I have all these, don't I? Alright, I'm gonna have to head back there at some point, I think. Well then. Anyways. Now that we got our salve.
You wonder if the masked soldier you saw earlier could be the deserter the Ivroy Maiden is after. You inform her that the soldier fled to the west. According to the maiden and her attendant, a woodland known as the Mystic Forest lies in that direction.
Make your way to the Mystic Forest west of Alabaster City. Whatever. Well, let's go here. Ahead of you on the path. Yeah. Here, I bought you salve.
You draw some salve from your pack and give it to the woman. She gulps it down in one go, and then starts jumping up and down with considerable vigor. Medicine, am I right? It's the one thing we can all count on, she says with a broad smile. This is all I have, but it's yours. She hands you a small token of her appreciation.
Sea grapes! We got sea grapes. A rare, hard-to-find seaweed features a habit-forming, bubble-popping mouthfeel. You can check the key. Yep, alright, we've needed those.
She explains that they were given to her as a souvenir by a friend. But alas, she isn't one for seafood. You put the sack of sea grapes into your pack and continue on your journey.
Ooh, we need to kill these guys. Alright, we got like restore 20 HP to the party, then restore 5 HP. Ooh, that's nice. Sure. I mean, to be honest, that was kind of garbage. So far, my favorite group obviously has been the Onyx. Dude was just powerful. Yep.
The Mystic Forest is a dense wood. Travelers who have ventured through the closely packed flora claim to have experienced mysterious happenings within. Upon entering the sprawling forest, you notice Krim trembling as her eyes dart about. When you ask her what she's worried about, she explains that there are rumors of talking trees. She suspects it's the work of specters. That's just superstition, Lanka says condescendingly.
Venture into the Mystic Forest, the Church of the Deserter.
A somnolent tree looks in your direction.
It's a bit guy. Enemy.
If you wish to go further, heed our voices, the tree says eloquently as you approach. Lanka, who had claimed talking trees to be mere superstition, shrieks loudly and holds fast to Krim. Thinking at the attendant's chance to lord this over the maiden, you glance over. But Krim, in her surprise, has fainted. Her eyes rolled back into her head. The tree continues to speak, unbothered by your party. Healthy trees are rooted in honesty. Frail trees in falsehood. You wonder if the tree's enigmatic words are some sort of hint to get through the forest.
It'd be funny if it was a casket. When she passed out. Nah, I find it funny anyways. See ya.
Show 'em what you got. Magnificent.
Almost enemy story.
The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
Greetings, traveler. If you wish to reach the forest depths, go north. Only danger lies to the south.
You feel an energetic aura bursting forth from the talking tree. The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
You go south from here. To the north is dangerous up there.
The tree speaks in a weak voice, as if it might fall over at any second.
Geez, I wonder which one is lying. We're gonna go south.
As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a weak voice calling to you from behind. Serves you right, it says. Immediately afterward, you are assaulted by countless pebbles and make a swift retreat.
Burn that tree.
As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a lively voice behind you shout, "Good luck!"
Oh, why can't it have been? Poison stay, bring food.
After doing as the sprightly tree said, you're able to move forward. It seems that the tree near the entrance spoke true. If you lose your way up ahead, perhaps you should listen to what the other trees have to say. The ivory attendant complains as you make your way through the dense trees, repeatedly invoking Lanka's wrath. Each time, Laty pats the crestfallen Crim on the head.
Knock it off.
You hope to pacify Lanka, but rather than being soothed, she simply pouts. "I'm a brilliant maiden. I deserve better than this." She explains that in Alabaster City, maiden and attendant are decided by national decree and cannot be contested. It appears each island's maiden and attendant have a unique relationship. You hear the whispers of a small tree's voice in your ears.
Those travelers, they can keep walking in circles until they die.
The voice is frail and followed by a sigh. It sounds like the tree really hates travelers. The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
Wish to go deeper into the woods? Take the path nearest me. Whatever you do, don't go the way of... don't go the way with the trust.
The tree enthusiastically teaches you the way. The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
I think this is the wrong way. If you wish to go further, you should probably take the path near the trust.
The tree directs you one way in a frail voice.
I mean, it's pretty odd.
As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a lively voice shout from behind. Yes, that's right. The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
Don't wake up the slumbering tree. Leave out your life, stay away.
The tree's voice trembles in fear. You wonder what would happen if you did wake up the slumbering tree.
Probably nothing.
The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
Ah, humans. I saw one earlier too. They ran down the path nearest me wearing all white.
The tree trembles in its frailty. You wonder if it fears humans.
Oh, I don't trust.
The tree suddenly begins speaking to you.
Every path is fraught with danger. Go back quickly.
The words sound as if they're being wrung out from the tree itself. You wonder if you can take them at face value.
Well, Laty just got a new ability. Which actually is nice.
As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a weak voice murmur, "Die." Seeing you distracted by the voice, nearby monsters take the chance to launch a surprise attack. Show 'em what you got.
I'm gonna gauge how strong this attack actually is. So let's contemplate. Now, buddy, go. Oh, it's just straight 25 damage. Still pretty powerful.
After defeating the monsters, you pause to catch your breath. Suddenly, your surroundings start to distort. When the warping finally stops, you realize that you've returned to a familiar path. It appears you took a wrong turn somewhere and must find your way anew.
All right, I'll be back. Because I'm not. No. All right. All right. So apparently, I missed this tree before. So since you hear snoring nearby, when you look, you see what appears to be a healthy tree snoozing away. Oh, this was of course.
You gently shake the tree, and it opens its eyes. Despite having just awoken, the tree speaks in a lively voice. "My apologies," it exclaims, then leans out of the way. When it does, you see a path on the other side. Apparently, the tree is allowing you to pass. As you walk through the tall grass, you hear a gloomy voice calling to you from afar. "You think you're so clever," it says.
What if the other trees are right at the beacon? So honestly,
Ouch.
gonna say, like, what if the trees are ripe? And I realized it's probably the one that was telling me not to wake it up.
At last, you corner the deserter deep in the forest. You won't get away, Lanka shouts. Pressured by the maiden, the deserter takes a step back. Leave me alone, the masked soldier pleads. But the Ivory Maiden pays their words no mind and charges into battle.
Got stronger than last time. Nice. We're higher than a 3.
The Ivory Maiden's powerful strike cleaves through the soldier's mask. Broken, the mask crumbles to the ground in pieces. Everyone gasps. The face beneath the mask looks just like Lanka's. I just want to live, the woman says, glaring at your party. Realizing that everyone is taken aback by her appearance, she seizes the opportunity to flee deeper into the forest. Lack, in true boneheaded fashion, asks, "Do you have a twin or something?" Lanka, absorbed in her own thoughts, hasn't an ear for Lack's words. Though originally tasked with killing a deserter, you find yourselves faced with a woman who bears a striking resemblance to the Ivroy Maiden. You get a creeping feeling that something sinister lurks beneath Alabaster City's pristine facade.
Our Ivory ally served the city where dark truths lurk beneath the Alabaster facade. You keep gaining memories of friendship.
Want me to take you to the exit so you don't get lost in all these trees?
Sure, that's...
You make your way toward the forest exit. By the time you make it out of the woods, Lanka has returned to her normal self. You explain that you're on a journey to help Laty become a maiden and need the maiden's relic. Lanka tells you that the relic is proof of her maidenship and more precious than life itself, then promptly refuses to give it to you. However, in honor of you helping her on her nationally decreed mission, she agrees to accompany you to the spire. A maiden must always be benevolent, she says, her eyes shining with pride at her lofty position.
Return to your ship anchored at North Island Pier. Okay, and with that... Oh, the masked soldiers side story. Let's take a look at that real quick. I didn't even know we had that, actually. Was that an enemy? Or characters? I once had a friend who I adored. We'd been inseparable since the day we were born. Everything we did together. We shared the same favorite colors, flowers, foods, and people, all things the same, our thoughts, voices, even faces. My guess is that the Ivory city just makes clones of people. Then we also have the Storm Wolf. A vegetarian among beasts will stop at nothing to consume plant materials. Such a diet keeps their bodies light, allowing them to run like the wind. They have been known to hunt humans when they tire of vegetables. Descriptions of their attacks resemble those of tornadoes. Alright friends, and with that, we're going to call that an episode here. As always, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Liking the story so far. I like how it does connect loosely to the other one, though. It's okay. So yeah, in the next episode we'll head back. I'm guessing we're heading back to the home island. I think that's what they were referring to. So in either case, there's gonna come a point where we're gonna have to grind here for money. Oh, you know what we can do before we head back? We could start this whole stupid trade thing. Well, it's not stupid, you know what I mean? To see grapes and all that stuff and see what we get at the end of that. So, but until then, friends, as always, stay true to yourselves and follow your hearts, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Bye bye.